The information presented on this podcast represents the personal views and opinions of the hosts. The Neapolitan Trifecta podcast is not and should not be viewed as a news source. The ladies will often discuss current events regarding women in the entertainment industry. Links to sources of information will be posted for reference.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Neapolitan Trifecta podcast. I am Lana Reed. I'm a director and the owner of Garnet Films.
Hi, and I am Nancy Pushkar. I have just recently started Crazy Cat Lady Productions, and I've written a couple of shorts. I'm working on a feature film. Love and life. I'm an actress. Been studying forever, it feels like, but I love it. And sending it over to...
Bring it to me. I'm Alexandra Schumard, or Alex Schumard, and I'm an actor based out of the Dayton, Cincinnati area. And I hang out with these ladies an awful lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I do.
Take two.
Anyway, we respect each other enough to be able to do that comfortably. Anyway, we have a special guest today, and we're so excited to bring to the Neapolitan Trifecta podcast our very first guest, Rusty, right? Our very first guest. He's a head shaker. He never answers. But we would like to bring to you Laila Hameen. She is an actress in the Cincinnati area. And Lana is going to go ahead and explain a little bit more about what Laila is going to be offering today.
Absolutely. We are back to talk about women in the entertainment industry. And today we are going to talk about creating your own opportunities. And Layla has done just that. Oh, yes. With her amazing, wonderful one-woman show, Laid Off.
Thank you. Hi. It is wow.
Hello, Layla.
I am so flattered, guys. You have no idea.
I am just going to take this little piece of fuzz out of your hair.
Sure. Thank you.
Welcome
We're
to
just
the podcast.
keeping it real.
Yes.
We're just keeping it real.
Welcome
now,
to the podcast.
Closer to perfection than she could ever imagine.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure to be here for this
awesome.
lovely experience. We're going to come here and talk about women in the arts and creating our own projects. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very excited. So thank you, first and foremost, for having me. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Thanks for coming.
So you truly have been very successful in creating your own little niche, and not little, because it's getting bigger and bigger. So it's growing, and you have done this from ground level. Boom, and you're really taking it and starting to move forward with it. And we are hoping that you will be able to give the audience some pointers and tips on, your successful moments and some of the trials and tribulations of those, kind of could have done that a little differently.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, my show is called Laid Off. It's a one-woman show that I wrote, and I loosely improv, and I direct and promote as well. So it's like a one-woman band, literally. But yeah, I came up with the idea after I got laid off from my full-time job, and I was a little depressed, and was looking for a job. And I was reviewing my resume, and at the same time I was reviewing the resume of my life. So I was going literally from childhood through adulthood. And I said, I should write a one-woman show about this. This should be interesting. I'm only 30, but I've done a lot of really interesting things, and I've had some pretty traumatic and slightly hilarious experiences.
Very, very hilarious. Let me emphasize the hilarity of her. Yes.
Hilarity.
Alex and I had the pleasure of attending. Rusty attended as well.
Yeah, Rusty went too.
The show at Women Writing for a Change.
Yes, in Silverton.
And it was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Thank you.
She came out and just tore it up from the second she stepped out.
I haven't had the opportunity to see it. I'm looking forward to it in the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks. I know you're going to be
I have a show actually on Sunday.
on Sunday.
This Sunday, and then I'm looking for some more shows to do in June in Cincinnati.
Where's your show at on Sunday?
It's going to be at Peak Art Gallery in Covington, Kentucky.
Sweet. Okay.
Awesome.
On West Pike Street, 210 West Pike Street. So I literally
210 West Pike Street.
210 West Pike
Shout out to
Street.
Pete.
P-I-Q-E. And it's actually a female-owned art gallery in Bed and Breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rusty. Didn't mean to call so hard.
It's
Love ya.
Oh yeah, you're just beginning to see the little corks with Rusty.
Oh, Rusty.
So this is really exciting, and I have not yet seen your show. So if someone were to come and see your show, what are things that they could expect from this whole transition from childhood to adulthood? I mean, you don't have to give away things, but like what could they? I mean, you said it's funny. They were saying it's funny. Alex,
funny
like
parts,
It made you feel everything.
like every emotion.
It's just it's such a good balance of everything, and I think every point of the show has something to relate to.
What's a part of the show that you feel, and you're going to be connected to it because it is a piece about your life, but what is something that you feel extremely connected to, or that has resonated in you, something that you weren't expecting, maybe?
I would say actually putting the monologues together, because when I developed the show, I had an outline that I wrote, and I wanted to pick out little points from my life, and one of them being my relationship with my father.
Oh, okay.
And that shapes a lot of my adult experiences, and I didn't really realize it until I'm writing ideas down in the middle of a Honda dealership, like, I want this car, man, this car is so horrible. The car my dad gave me was, much better, but that was just like a pity card, and I'm like, wait, I have an idea. That was the car I was, and I'm like, wait a minute, So, just connecting to the relationship I have with my father, or lack thereof, and how it affects me as an adult, and how I'm starting to see myself a lot differently.
Wow.
Because of it. And also just identity as well. I mean, because I talk about growing up not only being, like a minority, but also being like the minority of the minority, which is a term I kind of came up with because I just went to different schools, and one minute I was in a predominantly white school and I was like the brown crayon, and then I would go to a predominantly black school and I was like the girl who wasn't black. You know what I mean? So it was very confusing, a little complex as well. But I would say just connecting to it and just the raw emotion, because I literally feel everything when I'm out there.
Do you feel more powerful now that you've worked through a lot of those moments in your life, creating these monologues in this piece?
Yes.
It's
It gets
a silent
easier.
clapping.
It's because when I first started, I was going out to different open mics, and I would, be around all these, poets that did all this, like, poetry, this deep, heavy poetry. And
like
I'm like,
slam poetry?
Yeah,
kind of
and here I am, I'm like,
stuff's
I'm an
crazy,
actor and I have a monologue to share. And they're just like, okay, who's this actor? And then I deliver a monologue, and they're like, wow, who's
like,
that actor?
deep, yeah.
And I recruited a lot of friends, or not recruited, but I've gained a lot of friends from being at these different open mics, and just being comfortable talking about these things. And I'm like, well, if I can do it in front of a bunch of strangers,
Right,
in a dark bar where there's like all this stuff going on in the background, and get silence from them after a couple of words, then I can do this.
but it's interesting because a lot of performers, I know I did stand up for a period of time in my life, and it's so we don't care about that.
You don't
I'm trying to segue into something. And the thing that I always found the hardest is telling jokes. It's different when you create jokes or ideas or thoughts that you think are funny, and you're going to tell your family and friends. So I find it harder to do something like that in front of family and friends, especially this, because a lot of people know you and they don't necessarily know that side of you.
Right.
So you're delivering information to people that they didn't really know.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a little bit of a little battle, because I'm like, should I talk about that? Yeah,
Right, that's what my question was
do
going to
that?
be,
Right,
was that if while you were writing this, did you have moments where you're like, maybe I shouldn't bring this up?
Certain
And then kind of
things.
toward the end, did you like, I need to do this for me, sort of thing?
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I should skip over that time in college where I had issues with body image. And I'm like, do I really want to talk about that? And it's like, well, yeah.
It's important, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of girls can relate to that. And
Right.
you doing these shows are going to be like, wow, she overcame that and she's doing
Yes.
great things. So there's a lot of girls struggle with body image is probably one of the biggest things.
And that's one of the things that we're trying to achieve here, is to have people like you and ourselves to show everyone that, you can speak out and you can be comfortable. It might not be easy at first, but you shouldn't be apprehensive because you're afraid of what someone's going to think.
Right.
And Lana, you talk about this a lot. You talk about, what? You have to do what you have to do for you.
Yeah.
You can. Sorry, Rusty. You have to do what you have to do for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that? Because it kind of...
Yeah, it ties right into creating your own opportunities, I think. If you're going to sit back and you're going to worry about what everybody out there is going to think when you walk up there to that mic on open mic night. If you would have sat and processed all of that about, ooh, look at that group of 7 guys over in the corner. They're gonna judge me because of this, or because of my hair, or because of my face, or you can't do that. You have to just forget everything that everybody else thinks, and you have to do what you need to do for you to move forward and conquer all the goals and things that you have planned for your life.
Oh yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, in the very end, it's your life, not those 7 guys in the corner, not Nancy's, not mine. Right. It's yours.
Yeah.
And you have to do what makes you happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And I think this has made you very healthy.
It has, and it's been an interesting conversation piece for my family too.
Oh, sure.
Because I discussed domestic violence, growing up with that, and how it indirectly affected me as a child. And my family were just like, "Are you really gonna talk about that? Really? Like, Layla,
yes, I am.
Yes, I am."
Has it been good for them also for you to be so, like not super open talking about it, but I mean like actually saying the words? Because I feel like sometimes the people that deal with that, families try to just hide it and block it and don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So now it's like, not that they're forced to talk about it, but now it's like you're talking about it, so the conversation is there now.
Yeah.
It has, because like my mother was really concerned. She's like, "Are you concerned about being so open with people? Like, do you have to be so open?"
It's it probably felt so free out there to talk about that stuff.
It was, because it's not like I'm doing the Hameen story tell-all book. This is all the drama in our lives.
That would be in 20 years.
That's in 20 years, and I'm like, able to like.
That would be an incredible one-woman show.
I'm far away from my family. They can't find me. So no.
I'm super
You're gonna move away and then do
like all of this stuff that you've like encompassed into this piece, and it's fantastic.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
And like, how long did it take you to even prepare for this? I mean, because some people might think one woman show, and they're like, well, you know what I mean? How hard could that be, kind of thing? But I mean, I know personally, we know you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until like a couple days ago. I was looking at my old journals, and I'm like, wow, this was like. When? It hasn't been a year yet, but...
No, but the fact it's getting there.
I was literally, like, thinking of ideas of it, because I was in a play called 4 Virgins, and it was just 4 actresses on a stage, and we had different monologues, and we'd get up and take our turn. Well, I fell in love with that concept, and there was times I just did not want to sit down. And I'm like, I know it would be really messed up if I just stood up here and started making stuff up, because there's nothing else for me to say right now, so I'm just going to sit down and then come up with my own. Like, I just kept joking around. And then when I got laid off, I was like, well, what am I going to do besides find a job? I have to still act. I still really want to act. And I was watching John Leguizamo's one-man show, Ghetto Clown. And he was talking about his family and all this stuff. And my sister looks at me and she goes, "You're funny. You could do something like that."
And you were like...
I was like, I could. Yeah. She was like, "Yeah, well, just don't talk about domestic violence or anything. Nobody wants to hear about that stuff. But, like, talk about the other stuff that's going on, And I'm like, okay. But I started writing it in October. And then I got a camera, and I just stopped writing. I just started acting in front of the camera and just rehearsing in front of the mirror. Every time I'd be in a bathroom, I'm always, telling stories to myself.
Sure.
And that's how I memorized a lot of my stories and
that's
how
where
I was
the
going to
improv
say them.
aspect of it, I think, comes into, which you were explaining at your last show that, because someone was asking if you kind of improv some parts.
Yeah.
Because she had seen you do another monologue at an open mic or something, and she said it, and you said that's part of the fun part of it for you is just kind of like changing it up sometimes. So I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, I like reruns, but I don't necessarily want to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Or pay for them all the time directly.
Sure.
I want to switch it up a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's the same story, but certain things are just emphasized a little bit more, or I might add a little tidbit in there. It gives me freedom to just have more emotion and not just be worried about, that one word I didn't say that one time, I have to say it again. And it turns into something really...
Well, she always says, Lana always says in class, they're just words.
That's true.
Just words.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the emotion and the feeling that you're trying to convey.
I'm pretty sure if you,
really get
the emotion comes through.
out and,
Now, something really cool that happened was John Leguizamo actually tweeted you.
Yes, he
about
did.
this.
Yeah.
Did he? Oh my gosh!
I did.
Here, just
I
sit up
know.
there.
I had a really crazy fangirl moment. Like, I tweeted him because I was reading his graphic novel. He turned Ghetto Clown into a graphic novel because that's like his life
And you
work.
have it in the background. Of your
I
show,
do. I
too.
bring it with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And it's just like there. Like, you know, he's looking at me. Just, I'm like, I know, Johnny, I know. But he, I tweeted him. I said, you know, I got this book. I can't wait to read it. I'm working on a one-woman show. You inspire me. And he tweeted me back and he said, wow, that's the toughest format out there. Best of luck to you on that. And he put courage. And I'm like, wow.
That is
To give you chills.
Yes,
To give
and
you chills.
then weeks later I tweeted him and I said, you know, I'm watching, you know, Ghetto Clown again and you're really helping me and I was going through a really rough time. And he said, well, he tweeted me back and I was like, oh my God. He was like, well, you know, thank you for that. It helped get me through a tough time and now it can help get you through a tough time. So he actually was, you know, he tweeted me twice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So did you tweet him and tell him how successful the show's been and the responses?
I did, but I think he's busy. Sure. We're not like
He
friends.
can't tweet you
Yeah,
back all
like-
the time.
That's okay.
I want him to come to a
just-
show one day, though. That would be my dream.
That would be cool.
Is to have John
Yeah.
Leguizamo just in the back, you know, and just kind of...
Just in the back, like,
Rusty, can you call
just
him
watching
for us and
it.
invite him to Layla's
John
next show?
Leguizamo.
Rusty
you're
just
not
smiles and goes
busy.
like this. He's gonna do it.
I'm
you gotta have
sorry.
Rusty.
Hopefully I'll take it to New York and he'll be there.
Oh my gosh,
You
so
could,
exciting.
though. You
Okay,
could
so,
take that.
So that's the next thing that we wanted to know.
Yeah.
What are your steps? What are you doing? What was your process?
My process, well, my big dream was to have it in like some big grand theater. But then I had to look at my checking account and I was like, yeah, no.
You're like, not now. Sometimes you're
yet.
living
Exactly.
tea flipping grand.
Right there with you.
It's like, no, I'll literally show up and won't have anything to wear because I spent all my money for that theater. But I'm looking at small venues or even some type of open space that I can rent. So like Women Writing for a Change, they gave me a really great deal.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. It was like a big living room. And I'm like, perfect. And I
And you had
utilized...
such a great
That was a
turnout.
great
I
setting.
used it as like my set because
Yeah.
everywhere I go, I want to adapt my show to the set.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
going to be different. Like even when I go to Peak, it's smaller art gallery. There's art everywhere. There's no coat hook like I had at Women Writing for a Change, but there's a door that I could use for a hook. So I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect. I'll rearrange it, make it work there. So I'm looking at cafes and just small venues. And my long-term goal, which is approaching soon, in August there's a festival called The One Festival, and you can submit your solo performance to
that's
this
amazing.
festival.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
And
exciting.
for you.
it has
yeah.
to be like no more than an hour, and you can submit it and they'll review it and you get a chance to perform it, and the winner is the one, literally, and you
Nice.
get $10,000.
Wow.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's
that
just
can
something
help you
I at
so
least
much,
I at least
yeah.
want to submit it, you know, a few
Absolutely.
clips and just try it because I'm like I want more people to see it, you know, on a wider scale, and I
Sure.
want it to just keep getting bigger, but still maintain the intimacy,
Yeah.
you know, and I want it to inspire young girls and the shy girls, the awkward girls, the the forgettable girls.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. The way that I've heard people speaking of your show, you could be at Carnegie Hall and that intimacy would be there.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, I've
Yes.
seen other woman shows. Whoopi Goldberg,
yeah.
Lily Tomlin, phenomenal. And you know what? I was sitting way in the back. Sorry, Russ. I was sitting way in the back, and I still felt like they were connecting with me.
Yeah.
And that is what you're going to do. Because that's how powerful. I'm telling you, I hear really great stuff about
That
this.
is
I'm
what she
so
does.
excited.
That is
That's
exactly what it
you
is.
do.
There you go. And we're not just
Yeah.
here trying to, amp you up. You've already done that for yourself. We are
Yes,
just
definitely.
reinforcing
Yeah.
what you have done and telling other people that they can do the same thing too. But it's
Yeah.
work.
It is. It's tough. And it's not just getting up and, I'm going to tell you guys a story about my life and just, stare off into the world.
Well, right.
You have to
You have to
act
do
it out
the work.
and really prepare yourself. Like
Yeah.
it's a mental preparation before you even
Oh, definitely.
step out there. It's like you have
The
to
mental prep too, even when you're writing it, because you're going through, like we've already talked about, where you're asking yourself, should I do this?
Right.
Should I bring this up? Am I really still
Should I change
affected
people's
by
names?
this? Something that happened so long ago,
Right.
but then you realized that you were,
Yeah.
and things you do now are affected by what happened.
Yeah.
So
I know that over the past 2 years, watching you in acting class and watching you in your show that your confidence and self-esteem and bravery has increased incredibly with this. So
I know.
yes. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch that transition.
And I've only known you a short period of time since I started taking classes with Lana, like maybe 6-7 months or whatever. And the times that you've been in class, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Watching you work, because you bring so much to anything. Doing scene work with you is fun. It's fantastic. So, I just can't even imagine where you're going to go next with all of this. Cause
just keep doing what you're doing, because it's
doing
working.
it, girl.
Yeah,
I'm trying. I'm really trying to just talk to anybody about it. That's pretty much the first thing I bring up. And people ask me, so how are you? Yeah, I'm doing a show called Laid Off. It's like, it's my boyfriend and my kid and all that stuff. Yeah, I put a lot into it, and it's a little overwhelming at times.
Sure.
But at the same time, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like just, I don't know, a great experience that I don't want to ever end.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can sum it up as.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's about your life, too.
Yeah.
So it keeps going.
Yeah.
Because everything keeps moving forward with you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Congrats.
All right. Very cool. We have, careful.
I'm good. I was just like, as soon as I pick this, as soon as I pick this cup up, she's gonna look at me for questions.
As soon as I take a bite out of this meatball hoagie, they're gonna expect me to talk.
Okay, so
we got
time
a couple
for
of questions.
Alex's question corner.
Nice.
Ooh.
Question corner with Alex.
Questions with Alex.
So we got Jamie from Las Vegas.
Oh.
Asks, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received? Nancy, we'll start with you since you're down at the end of the table.
Wow,
Mine popped right in my head.
Me too.
I
have
will
a
tell you,
couple.
honestly, no one will believe in you more than you will believe in yourself. Not your mom, your dad, your family, your husband, your wife, your kids, no one, because nobody truly understands who you are here and here. Only you totally know that. And I'll tell you what, I'm holding on to that. And it's true.
I like it.
I love
So,
Yeah.
moving forward.
Let's see. Mine would be, you are the expert on your own experience.
Ooh.
And life is a constant wave of transition, and it's going to move whether you want it to or not. Things are going to change, and you have no control over that. And also, if there's difficulty, there's going to be ease at the end of the tunnel. Always. Nice. You don't know when it's going to be, but like they say, diamonds come from coal that are under pressure.
Yeah.
And a lot of that pressure, you feel like you're crazy, but sometimes, well, most of the time, all the time, diamonds do emerge.
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not. So
Meet me after the episode so you could record that.
I'll do it in Espanol también.
Well, no hablo español here, so.
I have two. One is from Silvana Gallardo, and very simple. You are enough.
Oh, yes. I love that.
That's it.
Just
the other one
straight
is,
to the
I don't
point.
know it verbatim. It's Sir Anthony Hopkins. The big quote about, it's none of your business what people think of you. Love that quote.
Right.
Yes.
That is my other thing. I struggle with that. I do. So I try to mind my own business most of the time if I hear my name in any circle. Unless it's good, then I try to listen extra
You're like,
hard.
hey.
And then you try to even throw in your own little comments as well. And you know what else she does? I heard a lot about that girl. Lana also. And Alex.
Me. Mine is actually my phone background,
Oh, nice.
so I'm going to read it
Okay.
Okay.
once I get to it. It says, if you're scared, you're on the right path.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
I love that.
She actually showed it to me.
That's perfect.
And I was like, phone background. I want to see that every day I wake up and look at it. And so it's always been one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
And then also, one that's always stuck with me, and I've talked about him in other episodes, Michael Caine. And I don't know that one verbatim either,
Yes.
but it's the one where it's facting is affecting your golf game, your political views.
I just
this,
posted
this,
that
and
the
this.
other day.
Yes, you did.
I did.
That,
And I
like,
love
you
that.
you don't want it. Like then,
obsession.
right?
Yeah.
Like you have to be obsessed with it, and I
you
should know it
Sacrifice.
I
It
should
takes
know.
sacrifice to
Yeah.
succeed.
And you have to you have to be able to stand up to people who I know when I went after I came back here and I went back to taking acting classes. And I said to my family, I was like, well, let's all do this. I'm like, I'm going to tell you something. I have a class tonight. Or I'm doing this. I'm shooting an independent film. Can't do it. I can't do that family thing. Or I can't go out with these people. Or I can't do that. And they're like, well, I said, I'm going to tell you something. If I was in school, if I was taking classes at a college, everybody would understand. Well, this is the only way I can get you to understand that this is important to me.
Right.
Everybody was great and supportive when I got my degree. Then why can't you do that? Because this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Right. I
so
can relate to that.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, you're putting flyers up. What, this isn't paying your bills. Like, this is not your main source of income.
Oh, if
why are you doing so much for
and
this?"
what did I say? If you don't believe in yourself, no one can will ever believe in
be
what
your
your
own
potential is.
cheerleader. You gotta be your own cheerleader.
You have to.
It's a big thing.
If I could do a cartwheel, I would be my own cheerleader.
do a cartwheel
Perky
right now.
or whatever that is. Yeah.
Go Toros.
Oh yeah, there I am jumping. I know. I jumped. I tried to run the other day, but I wasn't successful. But and jump. But anyway, yeah, running around is a good thing.
Your cartwheels and my dancing, we're in trouble.
I do them, but they're not pretty.
too.
So anyway,
All right. Next question.
We
What's
got
going on? Sorry.
one more question.
Yay.
Cheryl from Middletown, Ohio. What is your biggest personal pet peeve? I'm assuming maybe not acting, like
personal.
film-wise.
Personal.
Oh, it would be like film-wise, I would assume.
Well,
it says
It says
personal.
personal.
Oh,
pet
personal.
peeve. I'm telling you right now.
Personal pet peeve.
My biggest pet peeve, and I deal with it with people at my work, is when people chew with their mouth open.
Ew.
Or just they chew loudly.
Yes.
Even
No,
when their
for
mouth is
breathers.
closed. Yeah, mouth breathers or people that chew with their mouth. Man, I'm just like,
What is it about that?
There that is an actual...
Every one of your biggest pet peeves are going to be all of mine and 20 more.
that's what I'm saying.
There's
Like,
an actual name for that. It's
It's called, you know what it's
Can I
called?
tell-
It's called loud chew.
I have to tell
It's
a
called
quick
loud
story.
chew.
I'm not going to say any names, but we were filming a short film and we were in an actual sound booth. Rusty, you might have been there. Slipping of Jane, when we were filming that.
Yes, he was. He nodded his
And
head.
our camera,
he nodded.
we had the camera rolling and it was completely silent in the room because we needed silence, and you could hear.
A prank phone call?
No, you could hear someone breathing. You could hear someone
Oh my
breathing.
God.
And I will never forget the person that was with me turned around and looked at him and gave the buzzing phone look that I gave the
Oh
other
my
day.
God.
Yeah.
The buzzing
Just
phone look, and it's marketing. Sorry, we can't invade your personal space. But we love you, Layla.
There's a name for it. There's an actual phobia, you can't stand to hear people chew or breathe.
Someone actually
I
posted it
can't-
on Facebook and tagged me in it because
Yeah.
I talk about it so much. And there's one specific person at my work that does it. And I'm like, when I see them, stop.
I have two that come to mind.
You always have two.
I always have two.
Two's our number, yeah.
The sound that windshield wipers make on a dry windshield.
Oh,
Oh my
that is
God.
so
That
weird.
would faze me.
I can't. It
Well,
drives
Rusty's
me.
a sound man,
It
so things
gives
are gonna
me
annoy me.
anger. It makes me angry when I hear
What
that
a pet
noise.
peeve
I
is
can't
to you
stand
is
it.
my favorite noise in the entire world.
Wait, what is?
I love it. I'm just kidding.
And my other one is wet hair. I can't stand for my hair to be wet.
yeah, wet hair is
I can't stand
Every
it.
time you're around me, my hair's sopping. Sorry.
I can't. How can she
stand-
stand?
yeah.
She's got a little piece of hair sticking to her chin. How can she stand that? Yeah.
Because you know what? It's so overwhelming that when it's wet and in place, I leave it. That's so. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't.
Funny.
I like to swim, but then I'm like,
That's the worst when you get out of the pool.
Oh my
and
gosh!
it's
I think we should get Lana. We should get Lana a Neapolitan colored swim cap from the 50s and have her put it on and she'll like an ice cream.
strawberry
We'll,
and vanilla.
we'll have her wear like a neutral colored bathing suit. She'll look like an ice cream.
She looked like an ice cream cone.
This is the part where we get really out of control.
Okay, bring it in, guys.
okay.
Okay, bring it. Okay.
Oh,
Take a
Alex
breath.
is bringing us back to square again.
Yeah, if
We're in
I'm bringing
trouble.
you back to square, then there's
Oh my
something
God!
wrong.
When the kid in the group brings us back. Okay. All right, and so
Let's see.
Pet peeve.
Pet peeve. I hate when my jeans get wet in the rain. That's disgusting to me.
They get heavy.
That, and I hate the sound of silverware clinking.
Oh.
It gives me goosebumps, literally. Goosebumps, literally. Like it's it's troubling for me. I'm traumatized by it.
Yeah. Okay.
Layla's next one-woman
can feel
show
your
is a
pain.
silverware.
Yeah. Silverware.
It's just going to be called silverware.
Yeah.
And you walk in and you hear these, there's like those wind chimes, people made out of old forks and spoons. And Layla going, stop it!
By the end, she's in the corner rocking. She's right forth,
And we're like,
freaking out.
fabulous performance, Layla. That was so
that was
true
so
to heart.
believable.
Oh.
So believable. People want to see her after the show and she's too messed up.
We should call this the hot seat now because we just like zero in on you.
Pet peeve, Nancy.
Oh my God, how many? Let's see.
Let's do your top 2.
My top 2.
I'm gonna narrow it
I
down
don't
for
like when people like peel oranges or bananas and leave them in trash cans. Find a place where you can put it where it's not going to be anywhere within 500 miles of me.
You mean like unwrapped?
Like someone peels an orange. I love the smell of
Like
that.
the peel?
When the peel sits around and it literally makes me lose my mind.
So where do you put your peels?
I quit eating them.
Oh my god.
No, I can't eat bananas because they make me sick. And then my other thing is I don't like sticky stuff, like food sticky stuff. And like if you touch a table and it's sticky, and
They happen at Bob's.
it happened in a film, and I had to touch something. My hand got sticky, and I had to stay in character, but I was freaking out, losing myself. I went. I didn't know what else to do, and it was like I couldn't put on my pants because it would be there. And I had this whole, and I stayed in character though.
She did one thing. She licked her fingers and she went,
I went,
but no,
it was so good. It was like, oh my God. But I hate that, and I can't stand if I'm watching somebody eating and they have food on their finger.
Yeah.
And they're talking, and it's, I don't even care what they say. They could be telling me, like, a man could be asking me to marry him, but if he's got guacamole right here, I'm not saying anything. All I see is that. And where's it going to go? Because if it lands here,
Big shiny ring, but there's like a little dot of guac.
Oh,
Peeking. You're like, could you please clean that
or as
off?
my
and then
mom
come
calls
ask
it,
me later?
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
It's guacamole. She goes, I know. I just had a margarita. She's so cute. Anyway, so I'm supposed to.
Just like, oh yeah.
I just swipe. Okay.
Announcements.
So I get to say announcements, which is hilarious because I have to read them and I can't see because I don't have my glasses. But anyway, the Neapolitan Trifecta.
Let's take a breather.
I'm freaking out about the guacamole now. Neapolitan Trifecta will be, podcasting live from the Imaginarium in October. This is
there we go.
This is it'll be coming. It's getting close. It's in October and it's in Lexington.
Yes.
Correct.
Louisville.
Don't erase Lexington. It's Louisville. And don't forget to visit our guest website, or no, not our guest website, our website live and check it out.
Yes.
There.
NeapolitanTrifecta.com. Podcast.com.
Thank you. Podcast. Because
we don't even know what our
Get your stuff
website
together,
name is.
guys.
Look in the credits at the end. We'll have it right there.
You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Neapolitan3. And sorry, my stomach is growling, and I don't know why, because I ate a lot today. Neapolitan3 at Twitter and Instagram, and then Facebook at Neapolitan Trifecta Podcast.
And the website, NeapolitanTrifectaPodcast.com.
And we are live.
We got it.
Send us comments,
I can't get it
emails,
right.
people you'd like us to see, or questions you'd like to ask, or some other phobias you'd like to talk about. With
Send a
Nancy.
super shout out and hug
And
to
shout out to Layla.
Shout out to
everybody.
Layla Hameen.
Thank you.
Honestly, such great things I'm hearing, and wonderful success for you in the future. Yeah, you just are so gorgeous.
She is.
I know.
Layla, do you have a Facebook page for Laid Off?
I do.
Okay.
Yes. It's just type in Laid Off, a one-woman show.
Okay.
And then my website is www.laidoff1womanseries.webs.com. Just kind of long, but just go to Facebook. It's easier.
Yeah, it's okay. Facebook is
easier.
connection. Yeah.
And you can look it up on YouTube as well. I have some videos and some clips on there. So yeah, just check it out.
If you follow us, we'll post some stuff.
Yeah,
to
we'll actually
Layla's
post some
links
to your
on our
stuff.
page. So
Yeah.
if you see us on our page, we'll post some stuff.
Real quick shout out to our sponsors, CP Designs.
CP Designs?
Yeah, CP Designs. Actually gave the really beautiful necklace that I got to wear to the screening a couple weeks ago. It was fantastic.
We'll see more of her jewelry designs as well.
DerekCadzal.com. He designed our website, and he's also one of our sponsors. The Blind Lemon
Yay. Love
up in Mount Adams, which is fantastic. And then also...
That's a restaurant and No, it's not a restaurant.
It's not a
It's
restaurant.
bar.
It's just and they have the garden where they have music outside and all that, which is really nice. So,
Yeah.
and then we also have Starwind Vacations, starwindvacations.net. You can check them out if you want to go to the Bahamas or somewhere warm and tropical.
They'll help you.
Yep.
All right. Super. Everybody, thank you so much.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
It's an honor and a
the
privilege.
I don't know what this
Quite a
we're all-
prize.
This is
We'll see you later, guys.
bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.